Hey, Brannon Beliso here. Are you living your best life? It's Friday, but it's actually Good Friday, right here on the West Coast, 11 a.m. Specific, can never say that. Specific Standard Time, 11 a.m. right here. Who are we? Success Never Sleeps, where we as a collective, a group of, I would say, disruptors, critical thinkers, thought leaders, new thinkers, trying to cultivate a way to do and create a successful business through a very challenging time, right? I mean, life's not the easiest. I know it's hard at different times, but for us in real time, for us, it's really hard to be a small business owner today. Yes, there are the unicorns out there that are just thriving and we're doing really, really well. I just shared that with people, the numbers we're posting, and I'll share them with you in a minute just for that thought so you get where that's at. But I know a lot of school owners that are stagnant, that are struggling, that are really trying to make stuff happen, and it's not the easiest. So, the point I'm trying to make, we need to be more creative. We need to be more disruptive. We need to be more innovative, right? In order to cultivate and create this culture, this successful business that people want to just be a part of, that people don't buy into, that people believe in. We're good? All right. So let's talk about our sponsors. And as you're coming aboard, who's saying hello to me? Who's saying hello? Good afternoon, sir. All I see is Facebook user. I want to see a face. And make sure as you come aboard, tell me who you are, the name of your school, where you're tuning in from, and share it with somebody. Spread the love. Our sponsors are Tusa. They provide all of the uniforms to Olympians in the Taekwondo industry, branched out into martial arts and everything else. Good people, great vendors, good products. Market Muscles. Stephen Reinstein and the gang, I love you. I'm looking forward to the version 4 that's coming out. And what's inspired today's show was a PDF, and I'll get into that in a minute. Hold that thought. Remind me in 2 seconds. PDF from Market Muscles and Stephen Reinstein's. My studio, Two in the Gang. We just moved into Stripe. That means they're out of WePay and they're using Stripe, which I'm much happy with. They're better, more stable, well-known platform. WePay was a division of Chase. And so I'm just really grateful they're moving into Stripe. Kids Love Life Skills, a lot of good things on the horizon. We're moving to a subscription-based model. And for $99 a month, I swear, we just got to get all the thing worked out at WooCommerce. For $99 a month, you're going to have access to all of the support materials, the coloring sheets, the live talks, the student parent discovery sheets, the instructor handout. You're going to have access to all of that so they can really expand your horizons. And with that $99 subscription, you're also going to be offered really great discounts when you purchase the badges, which are the system of reward, which seals the deal, which takes it home. Got to have them badges. And then, of course, LC Accounting, my sister Letitia, love you, and love you some more. She's definitely a huge part of everything I do. So if you're looking for a great bookkeeper, then tap into her. So it's Bob Poole, Amazing Date, Resilient Martial Arts. We got Goals Martial Arts here. Anybody else here yet? Say hello. Tell me where you're tuning in from and all of that good stuff. What's coming up? May 25th through 28th. It's Time Live, Canada. To be specific, Ontario, Canada. We're going to be hanging out there. 1 day, 2 day, 4 day. Please book your spot right away. The hotels out there are booking up for some reason. So get booked. I know you're coming out, Bob. You're going to come out. Try to do 4 days, Bob. Take the time off. Use your vacation. Do what you got to do. The 4 days is life-changing. I know I get to spend the day with Bob. But 4 days out there, it's magic. It's just something beyond anything else I've ever experienced as a facilitator. Because I know if I grow while I'm teaching, then I'm really doing good work, right? If I'm just simply facilitating and I'm not getting anything out of it, then I'm just a facilitator. But when I teach something and I grow and I create these new relationships, that's when I know it's magic. And the 4 days we spend together, 20 of us, it's magic. But you stay for 1 day, it's all business. You stay for 2 days, you're going to get training in business, because if you can't teach it, you can't train a team, it doesn't matter, right? That's the core product. But if you can stay for 4 days, please, Marco will put the link in there for you. The link will go in there as well. We're having so much fun with our It's Time group mentoring that we've got going on. Every month is a different subject. Every month, we're going deep and really helping educate the school owner with me and my team, Marco, Monique, and Jason. And we're really taking that opportunity to help you know that this is what it takes to run a successful business. It's not simply about getting 10 more students. It's not simply about, you know, having a logo. It's not simply about systems. It's not simply about staff training. It's not simply about creating a company people want to work for. It's everything, everything, everything. And I can't express that enough. And so somebody said it's a lot of work. It is. It's overwhelming. It is. But if you want to get to the other side of the rainbow, if you want to get to, being stuck at 100 students year in, year out, decade after decade, then please take a look at the It's Time group mentoring. Cool. So what is it all about? I'm going to tell you. What spawned me, a picture speaks 1,000 words. A picture speaks 1,000 words. Now, I've been an artist forever, whether it's music. I would say today I'm a multimedia artist. And I use it through social media. I use it through a website. I use it through handouts in our school. I use it through designing a booth. I use it through helping people rebrand their companies and redesign their logos, the whole 9 yards. It's a multimedia experience. And so recently, Market Muscles put out a PDF, how to shoot pictures and edit and that kind of stuff. And as I looked through the PDF he gave, I would say 50% of the photos are all mine. Trigger, right? So let me know, man, you must be doing something right. Big company like Market Muscles, one of our sponsors, puts out this PDF, and most of the photos are mine. They're mine. And so I'm into that. I'm into shooting photos. I'm into editing, filtering, composition, the whole 9 yards. I said that twice. I'm going to tell you why. I grew up in an era, I know I'm older, not old, older than you, where we didn't have digital cameras. So we couldn't simply shoot. Hey, excellent martial arts, all the way from Switzerland. Happy Easter, Ralph. Happy Easter, sir. Link for the 99 membership Kids Love Life Skills. We're going to very shortly, Ralph. We're just getting things ironed out with the WooCommerce, but it's going to be a seamless platform because I want you to have access to all of the coloring sheets, all of the support materials, because it'll inspire you to use them better and use them more, right? So that's coming out shortly, Ralph. And when we do, you'll be one of the first to know. All the way from Switzerland. How cool is that, right? How cool is that? It's super cool. Anyone else tuning in? Who's tuning in from maybe Australia, Canada, that good stuff. So I grew up in an era where we didn't have digital media. And I first saw the downfall of digital media. You know when I really saw it? At my own wedding. The photographer must have shot freaking, I don't know, 2,000 pictures. And out of those 2,000 pictures, maybe a handful were usable for our album. That's the truth. That's the truth. So I think what the shortcoming of digital media is I'm going to shoot because I have the bandwidth and it's convenient. The bad part is, and I say this from personal experience, because one of my first jobs in high school was I worked as an assistant photographer for one of the most well-known photographers in San Francisco, Tom Vanna. And he took pictures of William Shatner, Tony Bennett, the big hotels. He took, I think, a picture of Bishop Tutu and Nelson Mandela, just really compelling people. And he's very, very popular. But back then, we would look at the composition and lighting based upon a Polaroid. Does anybody remember a Polaroid? I know they're still there for like kids' parties and things like that. A Polaroid. And we develop and look at it, right? It was a trip. And then the trip was when you went into a dark room. I know they don't really have them anymore. You'd go into a dark room and you take this piece of white paper and you'd put the negative in the camera and you'd shoot on this piece of paper. Then you put it in developer. And if you left it too long, the whole thing turned black. If you did it just right, you had a perfect picture and you put it in the wash and it stops it from developing. But that's how it was. So we really had to think about composition. We had to think about lighting because you couldn't go back and fix it in Photoshop. We never had that luxury. So the yin to the yang of that today is having that kind of discipline. As an assistant photographer, I'm able to sit here and look at and scrutinize an image, measuring how I can leverage digital media to fix this photo, crop this photo, change this photo, flip this photo to make it tell a story that's compelling. That's a big thing I want to share with you is that a lot of the photos I see at your website, at your social media, there's not a lot of thought going into it other than taking the photo and posting the photo. So write that down. I really want you to think about that process and say to yourself, every photo I take, I'm going to make sure, number one, I scrutinize it. Can I flip it, crop it, add a decent filter to better this picture, to tell a better story? And what I want you to be mindful of, looking on my computer at a website is much different than looking at my phone. Please understand, 85% of the searches on social media and everything are now done on a cell phone. And when I look at a photo, and I don't know if it's ants or what the hell it is, it's because you're thinking I'm looking at it on what, an 80-inch TV in my house because I'm streaming from my computer. Please be mindful of that. And I can't tell you how much of that makes me nuts when I look at a picture and it's got a million graphics now, because Facebook used to limit the amount of copy and graphics you could add over an image. Now it seems all bets are off. I see stuff, and a lot of schools are doing their own Facebook ads and stuff like that, which is fine. But I'm going, this is horrible. It's got so much copy, 2 weeks and a t-shirt up here, San Francisco's best, down here. It's just like, and when you look at it on your cell phone, it looks like scribble. Please be mindful of that. So promise yourself right now, take ownership, that there's not a single picture you're going to post without scrutinizing it first. And more importantly, when you take a photo, does it help reinforce your brand? So mine is what? Live your best life. Live your best life. If that photo does not exemplify living your best life, I don't want to post it. I don't want to post it. You with me? So if it's somebody like Noah, right? Noah Seidel of Elevate Martial Arts. And that's the first one I want to start with. Give me a before photo of what Noah said. Okay, look at this. Elevate Martial Arts. Everybody see that? Tell me you can see that. Everybody there? It's amazing. We got Resilient Martial Arts. I've got Bob Poole. We have Ralph over in Switzerland. Who else is tuning in? Let me know you're here, because I love getting a shout. So here's a shot, right? Noah's really experimenting, and I praise him for that. This was done on an iPhone. And it's brilliant because really there's so many great settings on an iPhone, and it was so inspirational. Thank you. Thank you for that. You can see it. It was so inspirational. When I drive down the freeway in San Francisco on 101 to cross the bridge, they have a shot of this kid, right? And this was shot on an iPhone 15. Get another mile down the road. Here's another billboard. This was shot on an iPhone 15. The cameras in today's cell phones are phenomenal. And if it's not the best, then run it through an app like Lensa or something, right? That's going to tune up that photo and make the colors right and correct things and all that. So here's a photo Noah took, right? Not a bad photo. Girls punching, but in the words of Hanshi Kovar, I should say, smiling, sweating, having fun. Smiling, sweating, having fun. Now, if I'm doing a women's self-defense workshop, I might show a shot of a woman grimacing while she elbows a dude in the face. That's a different conversation right now. But if I cater to kids, this was a good photo, right? Good photo. Smiling, sweating, having fun. Smiling, she's not smiling. That's the first thing I said to Noah. We need to change. Image is a little dark, and if I look at this on a cell phone, it's not cropped for Instagram, which is a 1:1. Facebook, you can get away with more of a landscape, presentation 4:3. Please be mindful of that. When you take a picture one way, take it the other way. Hear me? Write it down. Take a picture one way, take it the other way. Because that way you don't limit yourself. And if you're going to use video and decide you want to do a Facebook ad with it later, and you shoot it horizontal, right? You can't use it. You crop that thing down to, vertical representation that's going to be on a cell phone, you lose 3/4 of the image. So please be mindful of that. When you shoot pictures, leave enough room, but don't do it so far back, whereas once you zoom in, it's all pixelated and out of focus. Got it? Everybody write that down? Tell me you're with me, because I know I'm working fast today. Tell me you got it. And it's so amazing because, this is one of the most overlooked, it's one of the most overlooked aspects of a business. And when I say a picture speaks 1,000 words, I can't express it enough. I can't express enough. So this is before. Now, you got it? Got it in your mind? Everybody got it? Tell me you got it in your mind. Boom. It's impression where you're there. Go to my edited version. Wow. Let's do, show me the first one, Noah. I mean, the first one, Marco. And the second one. Okay. What's the most obvious thing you notice right away? Anybody? What's the first obvious thing you notice right away? Come on. And if you want me to do this to one of your photos, send one over to me right now on my phone and I will edit it. And I'll show you what we can do, right? Okay, what's the first thing you notice? What's the first big difference? Come on, I need you to think. I need you to be creative. What is the first thing you know? Show them A. Oh, look at that. And show them B. Now, mind you, I'm looking at this on a cell phone, right? And it's not too far off. I could use it for Facebook. I could use it for Instagram. Now it's obvious she's not smiling. Could you imagine if she was smiling, right? Her eyes, the focus, good, Ralph. Okay, that's the first thing. But there's something else going on here. Really obvious. Really obvious. Anything else? Really, really obvious. Come on, come on. And I'm glad you guys are here. You got a front row seat. Okay. Cropped in and tilted. Good. Well, now, and that's right, Marco. Take a look at the top of her head and take a look at her punch towards the left of the frame. Do you see the alignment between the top of her head and her glove? And then look down the right side of her body. Look at her head and her glove there. See how they align with the right and left borders? And now that this photo is tilted, doesn't it feel like it's moving? Doesn't it feel more like it's got action going on? Are you with me? Everybody see that? Good, 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 good. And the obvious thing is look at the freaking logo. I'm selling Elevate Martial Arts without blasting it all over this picture, without having to write it everywhere in the copy. Plus, I'm really into symmetry. Now, I know the kid in the background is looking at the camera, but he's out of focus. The girl, you know, you really see the girl's eyes. You see the elevate. You see her, the tilted, the whole thing, the framing now. Framing can really change a picture. Again, look at A and look at B. It's obvious it's still martial arts, right? It's so painfully obvious. But this would look great on a cell phone. Great on a cell phone. Great on a cell phone. Cool? All right. So I want to take a look at a picture. Marco, let's look at the picture of the dads looking at the two kids. It's a group class. It's a group class. Dad's got a baseball hat on. They're looking sideways at the kids. So the big thing, when you talk about a picture speaking 1,000 words, tell me, every picture should tell a story. So what does this tell you? If I'm using this on my website, I'm using this in a Facebook ad, what does this tell you right away? Anybody? So hold that photo in your mind because it's all part of this story. Give me the shot of the boy kicking with 2 feet. Little Asian boy kicking with 2 feet, you know, with the dad and the mom, I think. So we got this photo. No, that's not the one. The little boy kicking with 2 feet. Little boy. I think it's called Jesse or Jet Jumping or something. That's a good one, though, right? Isn't that a good one? Still uploading. Man, you're still uploading. What kind of crap is that? No more uploading. But this is a great photo too, right? And this I would use for staff training. This is a staff training. See the two people on the right kneeling down, him holding the pad, me mentoring in the coach's stance. All this was by design. So if I want to do a post, you know, to help reinforce that, at One Martial Arts, we were very big on staff training. We train our staff consistently to offer you the best martial arts classes so that you could live your best life. See that? I tie it into our why, live your best life. You know, it's obvious it's staff training. Look at my position, looking at the guy attentively. I'm in the coach's stance. Look at the two people on the right kneeling down, looking right at My guy kicking the pad. Look at the guy holding the pad. That's obviously instructor's training, is it not? It is. It is. So again, going through the mindfulness of composition versus just going into a group class and taking tons of photos, not necessarily the path I would take. So while you're waiting on loading that, Marco, do you have the one of the kid? It's James Focus Poke or something. There's a before and after on that one. Do the before if it's loaded. There's a before and after of James. The little Asian guy going like this. Do you have the before and after photo? Man, is it still loading, Marco? Help me out. Still uploading. Where you at, Marco? Let's see. I'll look in private chat. Oh, nothing in private chat. Okay. Okay. So again, think of the shot of the two dads, right? Any way to make this bigger? But look at this shot. Now it's smaller. Now it's bigger. Okay. Good. I love it. I love it, Marco. Okay. So we have the shot of the two dads looking at the kids training. We have the shot of the boy jumping and training. How about the shot of the mom with the little girl kicking? Well, that'll help too. That helps too, right? Scroll down a little further. It should be in there. Oh, they're still loading then, right? Okay. So, but you get the gist of it. What does it tell you in these three photos that I offered you? What does it say to you in the three photos that I offered you? What does it say? Come on, talk to me, people. What does it say? Nothing? It doesn't say anything? Come on, people. Give me some love here. I showed you three photos. What kind of program is it? Not every photo would load. Okay, that's cool. This is plenty, though. There's plenty of examples there. So help me out, people. Tell me. What does it say with the three photos I offered you? And while we're getting opinion, Marco, go to onemartialarts.com and pull up Excellent Kids. And let's cut back to that for a minute. I know, right? I got Marco working double duty. Because if you're not updating your content with new content at your Marco Muscles website, when the Google algorithms crawl, I told you this a couple weeks ago, when they see new content, they rock. Okay, so we have fun family. Good. I would sign up my kid for family and fun family. Absolutely. So here we are. So this is our Excellent Kids page. Go ahead and scroll down. As you can see, some of the photos I showed you, there's one of them, which didn't load, but dad holding the pad, kid kicking. Grow with every class, all that's important. Boy punching, martial arts teaches kids to be socially active. Look at this shot. Dad high-fiving the kid. Look at the next shot. Mom holding the pad while the kid punches. Look at the next shot. More of the group class with the dads working with the kids. Is this painfully obvious it's a family class? Absolutely. And so because if your consumer is confused, then they won't buy. If they're not sure what they're buying and they're confused and overwhelmed, they won't buy. Connect with your child in a supportive environment. That's one of the new things that I just updated in a header. Is that obvious? You're going to connect with your child. Look at the picture on the left. Copy goes together. It's obvious this is a family class. It is. And scroll up a little bit. I'm probably going to change the header on this all the way to the top. This one. Does your child need a fun, supportive, and educational activity? It's a question, but I think I'm going to go with a stronger statement that live your best life in our parenting / kid connectivity class. Something stronger, because that's organic and that's sure, yeah. I identified a pain point. I need a fun, supportive, and educational activity. I do. I get it. If we know at Google, they have a spike at 1 a.m. in the morning, and it's predominantly parents, and the number one search is ways to help my child be a better listener, get balanced, learn to swim, whatever. What if we put there, would you like to help your child in a parent-supported activity? Oh, send that to me, Marco. I'm going to play with that. Would you like to help your child live their best life in a parent-supported activity? Boom. Maybe that. All right. So I'm going to play with that. See, but you see where I'm going with this? Look how much I think about our brand. Even look at the picture behind. There's an instructor holding the pad while the kid punches it. All of it tells you without any confusion, this is a family class. And if I go deeper and I tighten up the copy and the headers and say it 3 or 4 times that this is a parenting, family, connect with your child class, then there's no doubt. There's no doubt. But if somebody walks into our school, and this did happen, and they're confused when you tell them, oh, you're going to be on the floor with your child, and this is a parent participation class, I missed the boat. And I've had that happen. So that's what inspired me to want to go back in here. But as you scroll down, I've shared this first photo. Was it shot by me or professional photographer? Next photo. By me or a professional photographer? My goal is to get as close as I possibly can, right? Look at the next photo. Okay, look at this one. Was this shot by me or a professional photographer? What do you think? Okay. I want to make sure that whatever I'm shooting, go to the next one, it can compete. So which ones are shot by me and which ones were shot by a professional photographer? I can't spend the time in organizing some of these shoots anymore. I bought a really good SLR camera and I'm really working on shooting photos, but I know my brand, Live Your Best Life. I know what we're about. So everything I shoot, I'm very mindful of the composition, the lighting, the editing, the imagery, everything conveys. And I believe, unless you find another hole in my game, that this page communicates. This is a family class, right? You put fun family right away. Fun and family, 2 things I'm selling. Hey, what's up, Virginia? Journey Martial Arts. So we sell that. We sell that. But make no mistake, when people come into Kin Creative, right, our digital media company, and they take what I do with all of their expertise, and I had to shut up because it was hard some days. We want to do ABC, and I'm going, no. I know my brand. I know who I am. I know what I'm about, but I've learned so much from Kin, and I know they're young kids, but you know what? It's these young kids that tap TikTok, Snapchat, throw the dog a bone, right? They know that crap. They know it better than I do. So when I kind of let go a little bit, right? I'd love to show you right now. Millbrae is breaking records. We did 157,000 in December, 137 in January, 118 in February, and we're like at 115,000 in March. What's the difference? Kin. I'm working with Kin now. So, everything else is the same. We're always bettering our curriculum. We're bettering what we do. So what's happening is, one is me going into this website and tightening up the imagery, tightening up the copy, all of it. And look at that picture. Is that a really clear picture? Look at that girl and mom. How much clearer can you be that it's a family participation class? Every picture on here, with the exception of the boy, scroll back up a little, Marco, because I actually think, as much as I love this photo, next one, as much as I love this photo, I'm even going to take this out. I'm going to take this out and put another combination kid and parent photo. I am. I swear I am. All right, so go back, get that shot of little Jesse jumping and kicking, because that's the one I think that's going to replace it, Marco. So in the evolution of what we do, in San Francisco's probably going to do about 15% better this year than we did last year. So I'm very grateful. Hey, Adam. What's up, Adam? So I'm very, very, very grateful for that. It took me to open, because me, I never did digital media. Never, ever, ever. But I realized, because I'd gone through a couple of digital media companies first, I didn't trust them at all. So I tried to dominate what they did. I'm Brannon Beliso, industry guy, blah, 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 blah. I went through that whole song and dance, and nothing was working, because everything they said to me, I didn't freaking do. But I trust the kids at Kin. I trust these boys. So I'm willing to go outside my own thinking, which is hard. sometimes, and I'm willing to do that. And here's some of the results. So look at this picture. Smiling, having fun, dad holding the pad. But look at the symmetry of the alignments of the 3 red pads. Do you see that? Even that is important. This photo is probably going to be the new photo at Excellent Kids. And by updating my photos, guess what? Google smiles when they crawl it. Okay? This type of shot, look at that. This is hard to do with just an iPhone. I did this with an SLR where the shutter speed is faster. So I could catch that boy in that moment. You with me? Who's with me on that? Okay. So find the photo of James. It's a long shot of him poking. Do you see that one anywhere in there, Marco? Okay, good. So there's James, right? Pretty good photo. Again, I really, especially not so much with the younger kids all the time, but as you begin to move up in ranks, the symmetry with everybody doing the same thing like that is very, 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 no, very, very appealing, especially in a group environment. When I see a picture, it's broken. When someone's kicking one way and someone doesn't have a full kick, that's not a good day. It's not a good day, but I shot this candidly. I know the kata. I know what they were doing. I know what they were after, but I even got behind them. Why? Do you see the One Martial Arts? You do. Without putting a big ass logo in there that says One Martial Arts, the logo is there. Everybody see that? Okay. So this was the original photo. Kind of cool, right? Kind of cool. I popped it up on my phone and said, but it's social media. Is this really going to convey on my cell phone? Do you find the edited version, Marco? I hope you got it there somewhere. Man, Marco, don't be telling me you can't find it. It's got to be there somewhere. What's going on there, Marco? I think he's looking for it. All right, so there's that one. There's an edited version somewhere there. That one didn't load yet. There's an edited version of that. And you'll see it's like night and freaking day. Night and freaking day, right? Because if you don't take the time to scrutinize that photo and crop it and color it and do those things, it's just simply not going to work. Yeah, let me know if you find it, if you come upon it. All right, so what have we learned so far? Put it in the comments. Anybody? What have we learned so far? I've gone from a dark room to utilizing digital media. I've gone from a dark room into okay. So here's the other shot. Take a look at this. Take a look at this. See the difference? Cropping it a little tighter, I can see the One Martial Arts logo a little better. I can see the focus in his eyes better. I actually see the blurred people in the background a little better. Go to shot 1 of this. Marco, can you go to the other version of this? We have A and we have B, right? Look at A. Look at the dead space on the right, right? I mean, it was fundamentally a pretty good photo. If I did anything different, but I chose not to, I could have tilted it so the top of James's head and the end of his poke were in alignment with the top of the frame. Ooh, ooh. You have the ability to do that, Marco? I don't know. If you do, crop it that way. All right. If not, that's okay. And then go to B, go to B, go to B. Look at that. Look at that. Right? So just that little bit of effort of cropping is powerful. Let's go to Noah's photo of the 2 kids sitting there looking, right? Let's go to the before one. If you can find that one. And why am I really stressing this, you guys? Because I can't tell you how often I see people just take photos without any thought and posting it. What I'm trying to share with you is have the discipline to value your brand, right? No matter what that case may be. I tell Noah because it's Elevate. I want to see kids jumping. I want to see kids, doing other things. So here's this shot, which I think is a great shot. Again, I really stress that you have one color. Look at the 2 Elevate t-shirts, right? Black It's obvious their brand colors are red, black, and white. It's obvious it's Elevate Martial Arts. I get what he's trying to do to show that the kids can focus. Now go to the B version of this, my edited version. Now that Elevate Martial Arts pops. It freaking pops, right? Doesn't it? Doesn't it? Look at how I aligned the top of the two kids' heads at the top of the frame. And I conveniently cropped out the kid. You can barely see the side of his face in the background. See it? He's looking sideways. He's off in the space. But now look at the Elevate. Now, the kid up front, tell me his focus doesn't cut like a knife, right? The kid in the foreground. Doesn't his focus cut like a knife? So what would I do with this copy-wise? I could say something like, I don't know, I think they're in, where are they? In Texas somewhere? Somewhere in Texas. You know, Texas parents, would you like to elevate your child's focus and ability to pay attention? I brought in the brand too, right? In that little copy. The copy reinforces this picture. Are you with me on this? It's that part's not that hard, but like we say all the time at Kin Creative, right? We do these Facebook ads for you, but then it's not consistent with your website. It's not consistent with your social media posts. What that creates is distrust because people learn to trust based upon consistency. Consistency is the key. And that's what I'm sharing here. So do you see the big difference in this photo? Tell me, people. Give me a thumbs up in there. Give me a comment. I want to know that you're getting this. Because I see great photos all the time. I would love to download and edit for you and throw right back up. Cool? All right. So go to the shot. Is there a shot in there of Lucas jump kicking with me holding the pad? Because I know Noah's out here somewhere, and I'd love him to see this. So find the one in there, Marco, of someone jumping and kicking while I'm holding the pad. And put in your comments. Tell me what you're getting out of this today. What are you getting out of this? And ultimately, to solve the question, how's this going to get me 10 more students? Okay. How is this going to get you 10 more students? Put it in the comments. Share it with me. Share it with me, please. And see if you can find that picture, Marco, of Lucas jumping and kicking. Come on, you thinkers. I want your comments. Put them in there. Put them in there. Ask your questions. I'm grateful to answer any and all of them. Is it in there, Marco? Are you with me? Marco's like, man, this guy's making me jump through hoops today. Can you find the photo of Lucas kicking? Not in there. Okay, it's not in there. Okay, it's cool. Quality shows dedication. Yes, absolutely. And again, if I have a cool brand like Journey Martial Arts, right? The path, the journey, and all that, it's easy. Every photo I cultivate has to tell a story. It's a journey. It's a pathway, right? The first photos Virginia did, they were out in the woods, and that was cool. Good idea, but that's not the product I'm buying. But could I use it as a one-off and things like that? Absolutely. Absolutely. So how can I take that, obvious walking through the trees on a path and communicate that on the mat in a story? Why do I want to always bring it to the mat? Because that's the product they're buying. That's the product they're buying, right? Unless I do a full-on 15-second Facebook video ad where, it shows the kid in school, in a sport, and it's all tied together by the values we get in the martial arts. Sure, that's a different journey. That's a different story, right? But if I'm talking about a single image or a carousel of 5 photos, right, in a Facebook ad, or what I'm going to post at Instagram and those different things. It wasn't that one. Lucas was actually jumping up in the air. He was jumping in the air, but that's totally okay, Marco. If you can't find it, you can't find it. Pull up the whole thing on the right side, and I'm going to ask for a photo out of it. Yeah, I'd love to do a whole course on this. I'm thinking about that as well because there's so many misses that I see every day at social media, every freaking day. Go to the shot of the 2 boys reading the book. I think that one's in there. because I want to share that. Okay. This sits at our after school page, right? Is that the edited version of that? It may be or may not be. But I have an edited version. I believe the girls cut out. See that little thing on the left side, even though it's not a big deal, it's a big deal to me. But what does this say about our after school program? What does this say? One kid's in a martial arts uniform. Subliminally, we do martial arts. But what does this say in our after school program that I'm really trying to sell? Any of you with after school programs, what am I really saying in this after school photo? Anybody? 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 Man, I'm not getting a lot of love today, you guys. That photo went small on us, Marco. Is there a reason for that? Okay. So one of the big things in all the after school programs, schools I've worked with, we get it here as well, that it's just glorified recess. That's it. I don't want my kid in just recess. I'm paying for recess in the after school program. So what this says is they're still learning. But we also say this kid's got a martial arts uniform. Would you think there might be martial arts? The importance of academics. Thank you. The importance of academics. Absolutely. Because homework is a big thing. Parents want to know that homework gets done. That's a real big one. This also sells what? Socialization, right? Oh, they're making friends. They're hanging out together, reading a book together, right? The crayons on the table. All of that sells that. This is an after-school program of academics. They will get their homework done. Then go to the next one of the girl looking over the guy's kid's shoulder. This is another one we use in our after school and camp. This is a great photo. This photo I've used for years. See the same thing again? There's the mentorship. Who's the hero of the story? The kid in the middle, right? Look at the wonderment on the girl behind, looking like, ooh, wow, this is cool. Who's the guide? Who's the guide? The after school facilitator. There's the guide, right? What's the external? I don't want my kid doing freaking recess. What's the internal? Well, I wonder if they're just doing recess, right? I mean, there's a whole story there. And that image conveys that. Do you feel me? Who feels me on that, right? And so your pictures are hit and miss. Then go back to the one of the girl and the other girl playing together at the yellow table. Okay, but what does this sell? Look at the smile, but look at the focus on the other girl's face. This says, oh, they also get to play games and hang out together. It's not just homework and martial arts and yada, yada. You see where I'm going with that? So when I shoot photos, I'm not just randomly going click, 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 click. Let's get some photos. I'm looking for magic moments. Hey, Courtney from Zenith Martial Arts. What's happening? I'm looking for those magic moments that are going to help me communicate the story. And I know one of the pain points for every parent in an after school program is all we do is recess. Again, notice how one girl's in a karate uniform. You can see the white belt. You think that was just made up? That was by design. That was by design. Are you with me? So you got to take that time and think it out. Okay, one of the ones that got us a lot of virtual during the pandemic, pull that one up. I just want them to see that for a second. For that second. This was in my living room. It's obvious we're teaching virtual martial arts. Is it obvious? It's freaking obvious. This did so well for us during the pandemic. I cannot tell you how well this did for us. Look, they're both doing the same block. Look at the focus on Braden's face. You know, look at all of it. We got so many new students out of this during the pandemic when it was shelter in place. I could have sat there and whined and moaned like a big baby. Nobody's going to learn martial arts virtually, but I understood the pain points. They wanted social connection, even though it was shelter in place. They wanted to show interaction. Thus, they're doing the same block. They want to show fitness. Braden's sweating. All of that. You see? But you got to think, folks. You got to think. You got to think. You got to think. You with me? You got to think. Okay? So go to the kickboxing one really quick. So look, again, the symmetry, both of them kicking at the same time. What are they both doing? They're kicking at the same time. Now, this was during the pandemic. People still got masks on. People wanted to know I could come work out safely. So we intentionally, right? Because they were 6 feet apart. So at one point, they didn't have to wear masks anymore, right? At 6 feet apart. And some people did, some people didn't. But we wanted to still share that what It's a safe environment. Look at the mask, blah, blah, blah. But look at them both kicking at the same time. But would have been a huge miss if the One Martial Arts logo was not facing the camera. Do you see that? Who sees that? The photos with kids and teachers show play or activities with supervision. Yes, absolutely. 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 Right? Scroll down a little further, Marco. What photo do I want to see? Go to the one of the boy with the up block. Yeah, right there above. Yeah. Okay. So some photographers would say, hey, man, you're cutting off his head. You're cutting off his arm. No, I'm not. I'm focusing on the life skill badges. That's what I'm focusing on. So any parent would be curious. Look at the focus in this kid's face. But any parent's going to look at that lapel and go, what the heck? Right? They might even zoom in a little bit. And as you zoom in, those badges, I mean, that's as close as I could get on that photo, right? Without cutting the kid's head off and looking too weird, right? Look at those badges. So I was able to pull in enough to create curiosity with the badges, but you can still see the focus on his face. If I went any lower on his head, he would have looked like Frankenstein, you know? So I had to make sure that I was mindful of that. I was mindful of that. And so how would I back this up? Right? Maybe I would write copy to the effect that, I don't know, would you like your child to be a better listener? Yes, I would. Or begin with Millbrae parents. Would you like your child to be a better listener? Studies have proven that martial arts is one of the best activities for a child to learn to pay attention. Sign up for a complimentary class. Boom, done, day. But it's a huge miss. It's a huge miss. I went to somebody's website and they had a picture of an adult on the kid page. You are not freaking paying attention. You left a stock photo in place and never cleaned that stuff up. Please fix that kind of stuff. Fix that. Okay, Marco, go to my youth karate page at One Martial Arts. So again, what I'm sharing with you, social media posts, website, Kin Creative, whatever Facebook ads you're running. Again, if I'm inconsistent in my imagery, I'm inconsistent in my message, I'm inconsistent, it breeds distrust. Consistency is the key to trust. It is. Even in a worst case scenario, at least I know what's going to happen, right? And you see the formula all the time in horror movies, right? Horror movies are a classic example of that. Some fool is going to hear a sound in the night, and what are they going to do? Go towards it, right? Name one horror movie that doesn't have some element of that at some point. I heard a noise. And is it ever done during the day? No, it's not. It's always nighttime. Nighttime, you hear a noise. What do? Go towards the noise, right? It happens all the time. It happens all the time. Okay, so cultivate your child's potential with personal empowerment. Now, this is what I use. Why? We are in Silicon Valley, Stanford, freaking, we've got that high-end educated person. So we want to use words like cultivate, empowerment, potential, right? This may not work in another part of the country. Again, I'm cultivating these headlines. I'm looking at them. I'm even running them through ChatGPT now. ChatGPT, take my headline and make it for a mom that has a master's and makes over $160,000 a month, a year in this zip code. So you can bore down to that level if you want. But it all started with what? Live your best life. Are you living your best life if your child's reaching their potential and they have personal empowerment and you're constantly cultivating it? Absolutely. You with me? Okay. Scroll down a little bit. There's the James photo. Look at that. Look at that. Identify a pain point. The difficulties of raising children are near endless. That was Stevens originally. I just took it and tweaked it out. Next line, next one. So there's a photo, focus, kid, empowered, rocking it, ties into the top header. I'm going to change this one. This was actually one of the professional photographers. I think what I'm going to do is tilt this photo and get rid of the dad on the side taking the picture. But it worked. It worked because it showed. It's obvious it's a proud parent taking a picture. But if I'm going to focus on lifelong character and success traits, I really want to zoom in on the kid. So I'm actually going to change out this photo, but I still think it's pretty good. Scroll down to the next one. Fitness disguised. There's movement, there's action, they're working out, they're participating. That's super important, right? Scroll to the next one. Self-defense, right? The girl's defending himself, the predator's grimacing, and there you go. Right? Again, that was a Steven Reinstein line, and I'm going to work on that because I think it needs to be redone. Self-defense is cyberbullying, it's all the rest. So I want to try to find a header that's more compelling, but the image speaks for itself. And then tons of fun. Here's a game at the end of class. Now, they posted this photo out of Market Muscles. Tell me what's wrong with this photo. And it's intentional because this one's getting changed too. But I wanted to leave it for today so you could look at this photo. Help me out now. Let's see how much you've learned today as we get to the end of this. Look at this last photo. Are they having tons of fun? Yes, they are. But tell me, what is wrong with this photo? Go. Remember, this was chosen by Market Muscles, not me. But I left it here because it's a starting point. I see what he's saying. It ties into tons of fun. But I left it here. And I've left it here, for a year now. But I'm going to change it. Come on, help me out. What's wrong with this photo? Nobody's got anything? Come on, give me something. Okay. Half the kids are cut off. Good. Okay. That's good. Kids in the background. Good. Good. There's no primary subject. Awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. See, good idea. They're trying to get the girl there, right? But it's a bad execution. I know this is crab wrestling. Any average parent is going to look at this thing and go, I don't know what the hell they're doing, right? I'm serious, right? Needs to be zoomed in, right? Look at all the dead space. Love it. Yeah. Above them, the dead space on the right, the empty mat. There's so many things wrong with this photo, right? But I get what Market Muscles did. You know why? And this is why I'm going to take accountability and I'm going to blame you too. This is what I freaking gave them to work with. If I gave them a crop photo zooming in on just that girl, maybe I tipped the photo, got rid of all that dead space and all that other stuff in the background, but I'm still dealing with that little black blurb on the bottom, that kid's leg or arm. I don't even know what the hell that is. So again, I'm going to change this photo out completely. But see, if you give us photos that we can't work with to begin with, then at Kin Creative, we can't fix that. Market Muscles can't fix that. Nobody can fix that if that's what you give them. So I'm hoping this inspires you now to go back, change your photos at social media, change your photos at Market Muscles, but now you have a different lens to see it through. The composition, the framing, the tilting, everything I showed you with the examples today. So this tons of funds photo, would work even better? Go to my cam page, Marco. But I can't use the same photo a million times, right? I can't. Look at that dodgeball photo right up top. Boom, bam. Rock star. This photo has gotten I don't know how many tens of thousands of views at our Google business page. Scroll down, please. Keep going, sir. And mind you, for a minute, you guys, make sure you have a video of the program on every one of your pages. One of the things we did with Kin Creative, just for consistency, is we shot video specifically, not Camp One, because we didn't have camp going on, but specifically that will be consistent with our ads and be consistent with our social media. So, of course, there's supervision, obvious, but scroll down a little further. Again, game interaction, social. What a brilliant photo. This photo is brilliant. Even though their heads are cut off, it shows the game. I want to focus on the game. Next one. Look at that. Look at that. Park time, the colors, all of that, all of it. So if I could recommend anything, you can pull out of this now, Marco. So I would use the dodgeball photo for tons of fun. Long story short, go to my website. If any of my photos fit your brand and your why, be it Journey, be it Be Successful, be it Ralph Excellent Martial Arts, and frame them like mine. Copy them. I'm okay with that. I am. If Stephen Reinstein, the brilliance of what? Market Muscles has 800 websites now. The majority of the photos in that PDF are mine. Download that PDF from Stephen Reinstein. Please go to the Market Muscles community page. Ask for tips and tricks on photos and videos, how to edit, composition. That's what spawned on today's show. Inspired me. But again, you're going to see the majority of my photos. So it lets me know I'm on the right path. If it worked for me, it's working for us, right? Again, look at the numbers in Millbrae. The bottom line, if it doesn't add up to growing your business, who cares? Who cares? So I'm methodically going back in now, changing videos, changing photos to be more consistent with my Kin Creative ads, whether they're graphics. There's one of James poking in one of our Kin Creative ads now. It doesn't tie into my Google business page, and it doesn't tie into my Facebook, Instagram, or if you use TikTok, please start cleaning that up. What does that have to do with getting 10 more students? Everything. Your brand message needs to be consistent. Consistent. And that's one of the biggest misses I see in our industry all the time. You post a photo and there's a bunch of dead space and it's lit poorly and it doesn't really say, you're talking about focus, yet all the kids in the picture are running around haphazardly. Please, please. Because it's not the little things that matter, it's everything that matters. Everything matters. And I'm very mindful of that when it comes to the One Martial Arts brand and live your best life. Cool? Any questions you want to pop in there before we wrap this one up? But I love those last group of comments because it shows me you're thinking, right? There's no primary subject. Kids in the background. Difficult to see activity. And colors are too dark. Yes, yes, and double yes. But that's what I gave Market Muscles. See? That's what they had to choose from. But you just watch. Within the next couple of days, that photo's gone. Gone. But I wanted to leave there intentionally. You saw how much I cleaned up my youth karate page, and I'm going to continue to do that. But that's what you give them to work with. It's your own damn fault. If that's what you send to Kin Creative, that's your own damn fault. Right? So again, be very mindful. A picture speaks 1,000 words. Cool? All right. So let's thank our sponsors, Tha, Market Muscles, My Studio, Kids Love Life Skills, and LC Accounting. I use all of these services. All of them. All of them. Plus, they're good people. Who do we have coming up? It's Timeline Canada. 4 days. Come spend it with us. 20 people, 4 days. Right? Somebody said, well, it's a bit of an investment. I said, well, the better question is, what are you worth? Right? What are you worth? And once you find value in what you do, you're going to find a way. I found a way to spend $5,000 a month on the Nike consultant, worked for Nike, to teach me about branding and purpose and core values and really dig deep. Because I went with Rudy Mick for a while, and that was brilliant, but I needed to tie it directly into the brand, right? I got, okay, purpose statement, core values, all that, but the Nike guy took me to a whole nother level, So yeah, it's a small investment, but talk to people that have come to the 4 days, what it's done for their businesses. And I highly recommend the 4 days. You can stay 1 or 2 days, but the 4 day, that's where the magic is. Marco posts the link in there. This was great and right on time. Good. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Our mentoring group, we're having so much fun. Marco, Monique, Jason, and me. I chose small school owners to be the yin to my yang, right? I am running 1,030 students today between 2 locations. So yeah, do I have the type of knowledge to get your school from 100, 150 to 300? Absolutely. I've done it time and time again. Ask Ralph. Ralph went from 60, 68 to 200. And what are you today, Ralph? 220? How many students do you have today, Ralph? I can do that. So I'm not trying to toot my horn, but listen to me, please. Move from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset, please. But Jason, Monique, and Marco are all small school owners. They'll keep you grounded. They go through the grind like you do. I have a whole team now. So they're the yin to my yang. Plus, I love them. But that's why I chose these 3. They're the yin to my yang. Never think They don't have anything to teach you because they're not running 1,030 students like me. That's silly. My papa would say that. If you come to class to learn, I don't care if Mickey Mouse is teaching, you will learn. And that's a really good point. I learned from the homeless guy on the street. I learned from everybody. I learned from everybody. From 68 to 216. Yay, Ralph. And two of that was the years of the pandemic. So Ralph's only been making this growth in the past couple years, but it's real growth, right? That's about a net 8 to 10 a month. That's real good growth, right? So think about that, please. Think about that. Our mentoring program is cool and it's affordable for what we do. But like we said to our clients this morning, you got to listen. Yeah, listen, please. If you're going to tell me why it won't work and how it can't work and how you know more than me, then why did you hire me? Why are you working with me? Why would you work with a digital media company or anybody just to tell them that you know better? Why? I get that every day. I got that this morning in my call, and it's just sometimes I want to say, well, but maybe that's why you're stuck. Maybe that's why you're stuck at 75 students and you have been forever. Because when it ultimately comes down to it, your way is better. And that's what I teach you. I know that's what I teach you, but let us help you get there. Does that make sense? Yeah. I have several mentors, and if I didn't listen to them, I wouldn't be in the position I'm in. But what gives me the trust to execute, I take what you say, I filter through my value system, not my fixed mindset, my ego. Again, I take what you say because I trust you, and I filter through my value system. Then it inspires me to take action. You with me? I hope you are. Thank you for today's show. Today was just really, really good. Please watch this one again and again and take it to heart. I know you're so fixated on getting 10 new students, but it doesn't, not just going to be a digital app that fix that. It's everything. Good classes, great leadership, great staff training, great customer service, great photos. Everything matters. Make no mistake. Cool? I'm Brannon Beliso. This is Success Never Sleeps. Until we talk again, please, 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 you go out there, live your best life.